Man is least himself when he talks in his own person. Give him a mask, and he will tell you the truth. Oscar Wilde. Have you ever been there? Staring at a photo of yourself, phone in hand, caught in a moment of pure paralysis. Is supposed to be a happy memory, a professional win, or just a beautiful, fleeting moment. You've taken dozens of them, maybe hundreds. You've found the perfect angle, the most flattering light. And now, the hardest part, the caption. How do you distill a complex human experience into a single, witty, or effortlessly cool sentence? How do you curate this tiny digital tile so it broadcasts the exact right message to a sea of unseen faces? And as you finally hit post, have you ever felt that strange, hollow echo in the silence that follows? That disconnect between the polished image you've just sent into the world and the messy, beautifully complicated reality of the person holding the phone. If that feeling is even remotely familiar, you're in the right place. Because tonight, we're not talking about social media marketing or how to build a better personal brand. We're going to do something far more radical. We're going to embark on a philosophical journey to understand why we are so captivated by the image, and how, using wisdom from ancient Stoics to modern existentialists, we can reclaim our freedom in a world that wants to put us in a box. We will learn not just how to survive in this world obsessed with image, but how to be truly, authentically, and unapologetically free within. To begin this journey, we first have to understand the nature of our prison. It's not one with bars and locks, but a mental one, built from light and shadow. Over 2,000 years ago, the Greek philosopher Plato described a similar prison in his allegory of the cave. Imagine people who have lived their entire lives chained inside a deep cave, facing a blank wall. Behind them a fire burns, and between the fire and prisoners, puppeteers hold up objects, casting shadows on the wall. For the prisoners, these flickering shadows are their entire reality. They give the shadows names. They study them. They believe the shadows are the most real things in the world. Sound familiar? Think about it. Your social media feed, the news cycles, the ads, the curated personas of influencers and celebrities. These are the shadows on our wall. They are simplified, two-dimensional projections of a complex, three-dimensional world. We scroll through an endless parade of perfect vacations, flawless bodies, effortless successes, and manufactured outrage. We study them. We analyze them. We compare our own lives to them. We've become the prisoners, mistaking the widest shadow of a life for life itself. We measure our worth not by the richness of our inner experience, but by the quality of the shadow we can project. But here's the unsettling twist in our modern cave, the part that most people miss. In Plato's version, there were distinct puppeteers manipulating the shadows. In our world, the lines are blurred. The algorithms are puppeteers, sure. The advertisers are puppeteers. But the most effective, most relentless puppeteer is us. We are not just the prisoners chained to the wall. We are also voluntarily stepping behind the fire, picking up the puppets, and casting our own carefully crafted shadows for others to see. We have become complicit in our own captivity. Every time we choose the filtered photo over the real one, the sanitized story over the messy truth, we reinforce the walls of the cave for ourselves and for everyone else. We contribute to the collective illusion that life is supposed to look like a highlight reel. We become both performer and audience in a vast, digital theater of inauthenticity. The pressure is immense. We're told to build our personal brand, a corporate euphemism for creating a marketable shadow. We're encouraged to be vulnerable, but only a specific, aesthetically pleasing, and ultimately sellable kind of vulnerability. The raw, unglamorous, truly human parts, those are best left in the wings. So, what are the chains? What are the actual tools that keep us locked in this cycle? The first is what we can call The gig economy of approval. Our brains are wired for social connection. In our tribal past, acceptance meant survival. Today, that ancient neural pathway has been hijacked. Social media platforms have turned approval into a currency. Every like, every share, every positive comment is a tiny hit of dopamine, a neurochemical reward that says, you belong. It's a slot machine in our pocket. We post our shadow, pull the lever by refreshing the page, and wait for the jackpot of little red hearts. This system is designed to be addictive. It keeps us coming back, needing a bigger hit of validation to feel the same rush. The result? We unconsciously begin to outsource our self-worth. Our sense of value is no longer an internal, stable flame. It becomes a flickering candle, dependent on the shifting winds of external opinion. We start making choices not based on what we truly want, but on what we think will perform well. We tailor our opinions, our hobbies, even our memories, to fit the algorithm of approval. The second chain is the why comparison trap. The cave forces us to look only at the shadows, and this, by its very nature, invites constant comparison. We see the shadow of a neighbor's perfect vacation, a colleague's promotion, an old friend's seemingly flawless life. And we forget the fundamental fatal error in this equation. We are comparing our behind the scenes, with all its mess, doubt, and struggle, to their curated highlight reel. It's an unwinnable game, designed to make us feel perpetually behind. I had a friend, let's call her Clara. Her Instagram was a masterpiece of minimalist aesthetics and mindful living. Every post was a perfectly composed shot of green tea, a sun-drenched yoga pose, a quote about inner peace. To thousands of followers, she was the epitome of tranquility. In reality, Clara was battling severe anxiety and a crippling fear of failure. The pressure to maintain this image of serenity was, ironically, the greatest source of her stress. Each post was a desperate attempt to convince not just her followers, but herself that she was okay. She was trapped by the very image she built to feel free. The third and final chain is the GK fear of judgment. In the digital cave, everyone is a judge. The audience is no longer a small, forgiving tribe. It's a potentially global, anonymous, and often merciless mob. We live with a low-grade fear of saying the wrong thing, of being misunderstood, of having a past mistake resurface, of being cancelled. This fear fosters a culture of self-censorship. We sand down our rough edges and present the most inoffensive, agreeable version of ourselves, hoping to fly under the radar. But a life lived to avoid criticism is not a life of freedom. It is a life lived in a self-imposed prison of fear. So, we're trapped in a cave of our own making, chained by approval, crippled by comparison, and paralyzed by fear. It sounds bleak, I know, but I promise you, there is a way out. The path to freedom has been mapped by some of history's greatest minds. It doesn't require deleting your accounts or escaping to a cabin in the woods. It requires an internal revolution. This brings us to the Stoics, thinkers like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius. They were obsessed with one question: how can we live a good life in a world full of chaos we can't control? Their answer was revolutionary in its simplicity: the deep dichotomy of control and it boils down to this: in life, some things are up to us, and some things are not. What's not up to us? Almost everything external. The weather, the economy, traffic, and, most importantly for us, what other people think of us, their opinions, their judgments, their likes, their comments. According to the Stoics, spending even an ounce of energy trying to control these things is the direct source of our suffering. It's like trying to command the tide to stop. So what we see in our control? Only our inner world, our thoughts, our choices, our actions, our character. This is our true domain. Freedom. For the Stoic isn't getting what you want in the external world. It's the wisdom to focus exclusively on what's within your power and to accept the rest. It is the realization that your self-worth is not granted by the crowd, so it cannot be taken away by them. It is forged by you in the citadel of your own mind. Think about that post you were agonizing over. The image, the likes, the comments, all outside your control. What was in your control? Your intention for posting it. Your judgment about whether it was an authentic expression. Your choice not to let the response dictate your mood. The moment you shift your focus from, will they like this, to, is this true to me, you begin to break the chain. You take the power back from the shadows. Now we layer in another powerful idea. Existentialism thought. Thinkers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus took this concept of inner freedom a step further. The existentialist mantra is existence precedes essence. This means you are not born with a fixed identity or an image you have to live up to. You are born simply as existence, a blank canvas. Your essence, who you are, is created entirely by the choices you make. You are the artist of your own soul. The world of images wants to hand you a pre-painted portrait and say, this is you. This is your brand. Act like it. The existentialist hands you a blank canvas and a brush and says, you are nothing, and that is your glory. Now, cake yourself. This is profoundly liberating. You are not your job title, your bio, or your follower count. You are not even your past mistakes. You are defined by your next choice. And the one after that. Freedom is the terrifying, exhilarating responsibility of being the sole author of your life. You don't have to project the image of a kind person. You just have to perform acts of kindness. The action is the reality. The image is just the echo. So, we have the Stoic shield to protect us and the existentialist brush to create our own meaning. Let's forge these into 4 practical steps you can start taking today to walk out of the cave. Step 1. Curate your consciousness. Forget the digital detox. Reframe it. You are not depriving yourself. You are becoming the curator of your own mind. Imagine your mind is a magnificent museum. For years, you've left the doors wide open, letting any distracting, low-quality, anxiety-inducing junk be hung on your walls. It's time to become a discerning museum director. Consciously choose what you consume. Unfollow accounts that make you feel inadequate. Mute words that trigger your anxiety. Fill your feeds with content that educates, inspires, or connects you to real-world knowledge. It's not about consuming less. It's about consuming with intention. You are not a passive receptacle for the algorithm's garbage. You are the sovereign ruler of your own attention. Guard it. Step 2. Redefine your audience. We perform for a faceless crowd because we think a bigger audience means more validation. This is a trap. The larger the audience, the more generic we have to be. The solution: shrink your audience. Shift from the audience of thousands to the audience of one. You. Before you post, speak, or act, ask, is this true to who I am and who I want to become? You are your own primary witness. Then expand to your audience of a few, the small circle of people who know your reality, not just your image. Your real friends, your family, your mentors. When you crave approval from this trusted counsel instead of the anonymous mob, the need to perform vanishes. You can be messy and wrong because you are safe. True connection thrives in small, honest spaces, not on a global stage. Step 3. Embrace the beauty of imperfection. There is a Japanese concept called wabi-sabi. It's the art of finding beauty in things that are imperfect impermanent, and incomplete. The love for the cracked teacup, the moss on an old stone. It's the polar opposite of the glossy, photoshopped aesthetic that dominates our world. The world of images tells you to hide your cracks. Wabi-sabi knows they are the most beautiful part of you. They are evidence of a life lived, of resilience, of character. They are where the light gets in. Practicing wabi-sabi means allowing yourself to be seen in your imperfection. It's posting the photo where your hair is messy, but your smile is real. It's sharing the struggle, not just the victory. When you do this, you do something revolutionary. You give others permission to be imperfect, too. You create a space for realness in a world of fakes. Each act of authentic, imperfect expression is a crack of light in the walls of the cave. Step 4. Practice Stoic Yapatia. This word is often mistranslated as apathy. It doesn't mean not caring. It means a state of tranquility, a freedom from emotional disturbance. It's the inner peace that comes from mastering the dichotomy of control. It is the deep, unshakable calm of the ocean's depths, which remains still even when a hurricane rages on the surface. The surface is the world of images. The likes, the comments, the drama. The depth is your true self. Practicing Yapatia means observing the world of images without being consumed by it. You can see a critical comment and register it as information. This person had this reaction, without letting it pierce your inner peace. You can see someone's highlight reel and appreciate it without it triggering the poison of comparison. This is the ultimate freedom. You are in the world, but you are not Joff, the world. You are the calm at the center of the storm. So we've journeyed from the depths of Plato's cave to the liberating philosophies of the Stoics and existentialists. We've seen how the obsession with image is a prison we build for ourselves. But we've also found the keys. By curating our consciousness, redefining our audience, embracing imperfection, and cultivating inner tranquility, we can walk out of the cave, not by destroying the world of images, but by rendering it powerless over our soul. We learn to be the artists of our own lives, not just the curators of our own profiles. If this journey resonated with you, subscribe for more. Because this is just the beginning of a larger conversation about living a deeper, more meaningful life in our modern world. In the next video, we'll explore the forgotten art of solitude and how to find yourself when you're never truly alone. But before you go, I'll leave you with a question. What is one shadow, one image, one label, one expectation that you are ready to let go of, starting today? And what real, tangible, beautifully imperfect thing will you choose in its place? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's start the conversation.